Okay, we're going to continue where we left off yesterday, which is solving literal equations. This means equations that have more than one variable where we're just trying to get a certain variable by itself. Now, what we're going to do is we're actually going to take this skill and we're going to connect it to something that we're going to see later on. Okay, so I don't need you to know what that thing is just yet, but here's what I need you to know. For today, we're always going to be just solving for y. Okay, so here's the first example. Okay, now look, here's y. Okay, I'm going to put a line where my equal sign is. Now what I want, right, and I'm going to do, look, I'm going to do two examples, so I want you to just kind of do this so that you're not going into the space for the other example. Okay, I want y by itself. I want y to stay right here, and I want everything else to be on the other side of the equation. So the first thing I notice is that this y is being multiplied by 5, and then there's this negative 4x term being added to it. Okay, now just like if I'm solving a two-step equation, right, I'm not going to attack this 5, this yet, right? I'm going to get rid of this term first. So how do I get rid of minus 4x? I'm going to do plus 4x. Okay, now if this was just a negative 4, I would do plus 4 and I would add it over here to 15. But I can't add it because these aren't like terms, right? So what I do is I'm going to, right, this is negative 4 plus 4, that's 0. I'm going to bring down 5y. Okay, now over here, I could write 15 plus 4x or 4x plus 15. Both are equally correct, but I'm going to ask that you just get in the habit of bringing down this x term first. So you're going to write 4x plus 15. Okay, now, what do I need to do to get y by itself? Because remember, I'm solving for y. That means I need y by itself. Right now, y is being multiplied by 5. So I'm going to go ahead and divide by 5. I'm going to do the opposite. Now, here's the thing. When I go to divide by 5 over here, I'm dividing this whole side of the equation by 5. So there's actually two separate terms here that I need to divide by 5. And I'm going to write it separately. And the reason I'm writing it separately is because it actually ends up being kind of different for each of these terms. Okay, look, this is y by itself. So this is perfect. This is what I want, right? I'm happy with this. 4 divided by 5. Now, if I put 4 divided by 5 in my calculator, I get a decimal. And here's the thing. I actually don't really like decimals that much, okay? And you're going to see why this ends up being really important in our next unit, but I'm actually going to keep this as a fraction. So if I put this in my calculator and I get a decimal, which I do, right? Look, I can show you, prove it to you. 4 divided by 5, right? We know 4 doesn't divide evenly by 5. I get 0.8. I'm not going to write 0.8. I'm going to write 4 over 5, which just means 4 divided by 5. Now, this is still 4x divided by 5, so this is 4 over 5x. Okay, and then I'm going to do this math. 15 divided by 5 is 3. And it's positive divided by positive, it's positive 3. And this is my answer. I have solved for y. Y is by itself. Okay, I'm going to do another example. The directions are still going to be to solve for y. And you're going to see there's just a couple small differences in this example. Okay, but I'm doing the same thing. I'm solving for y. Okay, so I still want y by itself. So same deal. I'm going to put my line right here, right? I know I can't have like just combine like terms or anything across that line. I still want y by itself. Notice, same deal. This is being multiplied by negative 3, and then this is being added. So I'm going to get rid of this term first. Now look, here it was minus 4x. Here it's positive 6x. So in order to get rid of it, I'm going to have to subtract and subtract. I'm going to bring down. Now notice this negative belongs to this 3 right here. So this is still negative 3y equals. Now remember, when I bring these down, I could bring down 9 minus 6x, or negative 6x plus 9. I'm going to ask that you just get in the habit of bringing down the x term first, which is going to make more sense in a few weeks. Okay, now I need y by itself. Y is being multiplied by negative 3, so I'm going to divide by negative 3. And again, I'm going to divide by negative 3 all the way through. Okay, so I get y equals. Now, look here. First, this is a negative divided by a negative. That's a positive. Okay. The second thing I observe is that, remember here, I did 4 divided by 5 and I got a decimal. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to write a decimal. I'm going to write a fraction. But here, 6 divided by 3 is actually not a decimal. So I'm not going to write 6 over 3. I can easily simplify this. 6 divided by 3 is 2. And again, a negative divided by negative is a positive. And so this is 2x. This is positive 9 divided by negative 3. A positive divided by a negative is a negative. And 9 divided by 3 is 3. And this is my answer.